So that's QE, and that's printing out of money out of thin air. That's not going to stop. That's not going to stop anytime soon. Excuse me. It's not going to stop as a tool anytime soon. They're actually not doing QE right now. What they're actually doing right now is QT, which is very responsible, believe it or not. So you might be thinking, oh, we're printing so much money. And in a sense, we are. There are other ways that we're getting money at this particular time. Other nations buy these bonds, treasury securities, that is. Companies buy them. You have municipal bonds or municipal organizations that purchase these bonds as well. There's money that can be recirculated in to the treasury from many other areas. But when people don't want to buy those bonds, they just go to the central bank, right? So this is where you get debasement of the currency. To the Federal Reserve's benefit, they're actually doing QT right now, quantitative tightening, right? Which is the opposite of QE. Instead of adding money to the economy, the Federal Reserve reduces the money supply by offloading assets from its balance sheet. So how that works is what in QT, the Fed technically sells assets back into the market. So now it's the opposite. Now it's the Federal Reserve saying, hey, we want to reduce the money supply out there because we have too much inflation. We've been debasing the currency like mad drunken sailors. So now what they do is they will technically say, okay, I want you to give me some money, and then the Federal Reserve will pay you back later with some interest, right? So now the Treasury or anybody else who has these bonds says, okay, we'll give you this bond, or they're going to buy that bond. And so they're going to get all that money out of the supply, right? So if there's a bank, they're giving a bunch of money to the Federal Reserve, right, as a loan, and the Federal Reserve will pay it back to them over time with interest. So, but immediately it removes liquidity out of the market, right? So in either way around, though, you're still creating money because when they do that, where's the interest come to pay them back? Again, they have to create the interest out of nowhere. So it's always still printing money. It's just different ways of controlling how much liquidity or money is out there in the market or in the world. So you have the United States money supply, M1 and M2. M2 is the big one we want to look at. And then you have the global M2. And at the end of the day, it's being debased by globally, around 8%. So they're printing about 8% of new dollars or new currency globally every year. So when you start realizing all this, you start realizing, wait a minute, the money's broken. The world is actually getting to the point where we're in this debt economy. Bitcoin was a response to that back in 2009, right? And if you understand exactly how Bitcoin works, it has programmed into it a way to be deflationary and to be a store of value that you can't print more of. That's where the aspect of it is